So we're gonna go live, but don't tell them.
All right. She's going to flag me now when I have to get up and do this.
What?
When I'm gonna have to meet these people for this furniture here.
Okay.
So we're going live, and are we live?
Yeah, I already put it up there, so everybody knows you're buying furniture.
I'm not buying furniture. I'm selling furniture.
Okay. Well, you bought a piano.
Bought a piano, but I'm selling furniture.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to make a. I'm going that way. Whatever. I'm going that way. Exit stage. That's my right. Whenever these people get here.
Okay, you are watching live to episode 10. Can't believe we've made it this far of Rally Round the Natty. It's been a fantastic ride. We're very happy to have all of you here listening and watching, all 0 of you thus far. I hope that ticks up a little bit. Dale, where are you, Dale? Where's Hoss? I don't know what's happening.
Where's my hot dog dude?
I didn't put a message out that we were starting. He might not.
Well, there you go.
You know, I put like the little red dots, alert. We're going
you got to
live.
speak to the people.
I've had enough of people today. I had a rough day. So, we're going to stick with our streamlined structure here. And one of the few things I want to talk about.
Wait.
What?
I always have to stop you.
Oh my gosh. What?
We need to talk about our charity.
We do. I'm awful about that.
You're awful about that.
Go ahead. Charity it up.
No, you can charity it.
No, you're good at it.
No,
you brought it up. You do it.
No.
Oh my God.
You handle it.
So this month, for the month of May, which there's just about a week left, haven't checked our numbers lately, but I'd say we're probably still about $100 away. We have partnered with Off the Grid Missions, really fantastic organization working with people who have who are hard of hearing and going through some disasters, whether that be I believe it's environmental disasters, and they really do a good job of reaching out, helping those people who need it. And like we always do, if you donate at least $1, we put you in the drawing for a hoodie and a cup. And if you donate $10, you are in the drawing for the I call it the Christmas jersey. I don't know if you celebrate Christmas or not. That's neither here nor there, but
a holiday jersey.
A holiday jersey.
You want to be politically correct. It's a holiday jersey.
It's a holiday jersey. It could be a Christmas jersey, a Kwanzaa jersey, a Hanukkah jersey. I don't care. It's going to be a jersey from Cook Sporting Goods. Completely custom, whatever you want. $10 gets you into that. And, every dollar counts. So we really look forward to collecting as many donations as we can. So with that being said, we've got a few topics for you today. The first one, and our friends over at Wincy, who do the Cincinnati pod. Wincy. I love that name. We screwed up. They did a great job there. Mm-hmm. Put out a list, and I'm going to see if I can give it the old screen share here.
Ooh,
how's that look?
Well, I like the left hand. I like the left-hand side of the screen. Right-hand side, not feeling it.
Okay. Well, basically, what our friends out here at Wincy have done is...
What is wrong with Lynn Swan's hair?
What's going on with my hair right now? He's got helmet head. But, our friends over at Wincy, they do a fantastic job. Put out this list of best wide receivers of all time for each crew. And I want to do an exercise with you. And I know we're biased.
Who's Buddy Dial?
That's part of the bias.
I've never heard of Buddy Dial.
He's probably in the Hall of Fame knowing them. Which crew would you rather have? You can just go from straight, left side versus right side, or we can pick a top 5 out of all of them, or what. But I kind of want to go over this because we are Cincinnati fans, we are biased, but I think you and I do a good job of also respecting and giving respect when it's due. And I mean, obviously, there are some fantastic names on this list. But which side would you rather have if you're getting to start all the way over, and you know the history of all of these guys building up from bottom down, and everything that we do know? And I wanted to stage this to you because I've watched highlights, I know the numbers, I know who's in the Hall of Fame, I know who's not. But there's a difference between knowing of the guy and watching it and living through it. I didn't watch Lynn Swan. I'm not there. But I want your opinion of which list would you rather have?
Steelers.
Really?
They win. They won. They played big games. They showed up. They did it.
You're going to get some hate on that one.
I don't care if I get some hate. They freaking got the rings. That's what this is all about.
They got rings with that defense, though.
Well, I mean, Lynn Swann and John Stallworth weren't a bad duo.
They weren't a bad duo.
I know you never saw them play, but those guys were they were impeccable.
Okay. Would you rather have Lynn Swann and Stallworth or what we have now? Not the duo, but all three.
Oh, I would take what we have. What we have now is more athletic than those two. But again, you can't take away what happens in the big game with those guys. I mean, Lynn Swann had a couple magnificent catches in the Super Bowl against the Cowboys. I think Stallworth had 2 touchdowns of like 70 plus in another Super Bowl. Remarkable. They definitely stepped up at the big times.
Okay.
There's nobody on that list that I'm seeing on the Bengals side that stepped up big time in a big time game in a Super Bowl.
I mean, Chase had a pretty decent game.
Yeah, but it wasn't
not a huge game, but he did.
It wasn't.
He did cook Ramsey time and time again. Just couldn't get the ball to him.
Chase actually, I'm going to give him credit. Chase stepped up, but just go into non-Super Bowl games. Chad Johnson never showed up in a big game. Never.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know everybody likes Chad, but boy, don't put him in a big game. He just didn't show up.
We need to. Is that Rosie in the background?
That's Rosie. Collinsworth showed up in the Super Bowl.
Rosie needs a muzzle
in '82.
Okay,
but no, that you just can't argue with the pedigree and just the overall epic wins that Steeler team had. And yeah, their defense helped a lot, but their offense was mighty potent. And then they played to win, and they had the players that rose to the occasion.
Now, and I'm gonna say this will get a little hate, but it's true. They also had the quarterback. Kenny wasn't a gunslinger. He was accurate. He's efficient. He's probably, I say, a Hall of Famer. He's not in right now. We're hoping he gets in one day, but he's fringe.
No, Kenny, based upon everybody that's in the Hall of Fame, Kenny should be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him play. There's a lot of people out there that saw Kenny Anderson play. Kenny Anderson was not dynamic, but he was accurate. He won the MVP in, what was it, 81? He won the MVP. He, I think he had 4 passer championships, whatever they call it.
Passing titles.
Yep. I think he led the league in rushing of all quarterbacks in 81.
That's a different one. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, the guy.
Call me ignorant, but I've never heard that one before.
Kenny was somewhat elusive, and he could run a little bit. Nobody ever talks about that, but Kenny could run a little bit.
Okay. Now, going we won't spend too much more time on this because we do try to stay segmented anymore. Who's the best one on that list overall?
The best overall receiver on that list? I think it's yet to be seen. I think Jamar Chase might be. Out of all the Steelers, it depends on what you call it. Hines Ward, who is public enemy number 1 in this city, he was a winner. Hines Ward did all the dirty work.
He was dirty as hell, but
he was. But he would make the blocks. He made the big time catches. He scored the touchdowns. Hines Ward was a go-to guy. I mean, out of all those players on that list on the Steelers side, if you needed somebody with a big play in a key moment, I think Hines Ward's the guy on that list.
Okay. That's fair.
On the Bengals side, again, it's still yet to be seen. Jamar Chase is far and away has the most upside.
I think he's the most complete receiver that's ever come through here. We just need to see the longevity.
Yeah. I mean, A.J. Green in his prime was phenomenal.
See, I think if I have to pick a player that for 4 or 5 years, I get to take any of them for 4 or 5 years, without a doubt, it's Chad. Because for that 4-year run from 04 to '07 or whatever it was, he was truly uncoverable. I mean, what, he led the league in yards for like half a decade.
I will say, I think if you want to count touchdowns as productivity or touchdowns per catch, or I mean, Carl Pickens, incredibly underrated. Carl Pickens scored so
Well,
many
I
touchdowns.
think he's underrated just because of the whole contract situation. And I think that put a sour taste in people's mouths. But no, his numbers are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he caught so many deep balls, and he could high point a ball better than anybody because he was a high jumper. He was just a speedy receiver from Tennessee, and he was a high jumper and he had great hands. Just had an attitude. That was the problem with Carl Pickens. He had an attitude.
I think another one that flies under the radar beyond Buddy Dial is Darnay, just because he was on those real bad Bengal teams. But there's not many highlights from that lost decade, but every single time I see a Jeff Blake boom ball, it seems to be Darnay on the other side.
Well, it's just Darnay or it's Pickens. That was a heck of a duo. Collinsworth, I know you never saw him play. You only saw some highlights. Collinsworth was incredibly fast. He was gangly. He was weird to watch run. Hardly. I won't say never because I remember him dropping one or two. He caught everything. He caught balls across the middle. Boomer hung him out to dry. And Collinsworth, very, very, very dependable.
Okay. That's fair. Now, let's level the playing field a bit, because I understand the argument with rings, but depending on the team you're on, you might not get a chance to play for a ring. AJ Green's one of the best receivers I ever saw. I'm not going to diminish him by saying he didn't get a ring. If you take the rings out of it, where are you at?
I don't know about that. I will tell you, AJ Green's another one of those players. He never showed up in the playoffs.
His numbers were not ideal.
No,
I got shredded for that one about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Now, granted,
he's not a big game player.
Well, I'll say this though, his quarterback was a horrendous big game player. So yes, I would have to go back and watch the tape, and I mean it's 2011's going back quite a ways now. If I went back and watched the tape, I would venture to say he probably was pretty good in the playoffs. But I mean, the two plays I always think about with AJ Green in the playoffs are the one Houston playoff game where we were throwing a bomb toward the very end of the game and he was open down the right seam.
Yeah,
and Andy overthrew him. Okay, that's not on him. He did his job. Steps 1 through 9 for the most part are on a receiver. They only get credit if quarterback completes step 10. The other play I think about is what should have been the game-winning catch against Pittsburgh in 15.
AJ McCarron, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was McCarron. And let's face it, I loved AJ McCarron. I was one of the few idiots that thought that he was going to be one of the next big things. I'll call myself an idiot for it. But he didn't really have a whole lot to work with McCarron. So then you go back to the Chargers playoff game. God, Andy was absolutely abysmal. And then you go back to the Colts playoff game where we're running freaking Rex Burkhead out there as the complimentary receiver.
I don't even know if AJ Green played in that game.
He might not have.
But, all of our receivers were out in that game.
But when you have a quarterback, and Andy's a great guy. He did fantastic things for this community. When you have a quarterback who struggled in big games, and if there was one giant exclamation point you could put on the entire Marvin Lewis era, it was big-time game failures. You can't expect your receiver to play well in big-time games if your quarterback is atrocious.
Yeah.
It's not fair. So if I went back and I watched the tape, I would be surprised if he wasn't open a lot.
Yeah, and one other name we haven't touched on is Isaac Curtis. Now, Isaac Curtis was he was ahead of time.
I mean, that guy they had to rewrite the whole rule book because of him.
Yeah, he had great hands, great speed. He was the entire package. The Bengals rarely made the playoffs back then, so I can't even vouch for how well he did or didn't play in the postseason. But I know, I mean, back then he was definitely, him and Ken Anderson were the two primary pieces of those teams in the 70s. And they had some really good teams in the 70s. Unfortunately, the team on the right side of the screen had a much
some
better
really
team
good
the entire
teams,
decade.
too. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we covered that pretty well. I do like the honorable mentions at the bottom. I do think Deontay Johnson's deserving of an honorable mention. I know
I see PW.
You do see PW. That's because, and I love Twitter for this reason. Before Twitter, I thought I was one of the few guys that genuinely loved Peter Warwick. There's a lot of us out there. He is in a lot of these millennial and maybe Gen X Bengal hearts out there. But I do think Deontay Johnson's deserving on that honorable mention list. I know he's got some drops issues, but he's like a mini Antonio Brown. He catches the ball. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
I would make a couple. I would make one change on that list on the Bengals side. I would replace Tim McGee with Tyler Boyd.
Well, Boyd's on there.
No, but Boyd's at the bottom.
You would.
I'd put him up in the main list. Even I'd put him ahead of T. Higgins because of his tenure. And
Martavis. I think T might have already caught him though. T's really damn good.
Martavis Bryant. All I'm going to say is he didn't catch that ball in the playoffs.
No, he didn't. Everybody knows he didn't catch that ball. The NFL came out and said he didn't catch that ball.
But, all right, I need a timeout here.
Okay.
I got to try to go sell a couch.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm going to play like Anthony Munoz, try to sell some furniture.
I'm going to see if I can get us a copyright infringement. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you when you're young at heart. For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams. And here is the best part. You'll have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. Hey, look at that.
Greatly injured the Reds in recent years.
Got a little bit of baseball. How we doing? Not good. Woo! All right. Finally got that guy out. 5-2 going to the bottom of the fourth. Cincinnati.
Hey, you're not allowed to do that.
Listen, we're trying.
Hey, look at this. I was just gifted this.
Hey! That's big.
Burnt wood, metal. Whoa. Metal barrel. Freaking must weigh 20 pounds, 30 pounds. Who dat?
I know what not to get you for Christmas. That's cool. All right. So we got to watch Tyler Malley strike somebody out. And we're back.
Rally round.
Rally round. Who said that?
Rally round the natty.
Who said that?
We got fans over here.
We have a fan base.
We may have a fan base.
We got standing room only tickets.
Did I just see the Reds on our podcast?
Yeah, I was watching the Tyler Malley strike out Ian Happ for the first time ever.
Ian Happ actually didn't get a home run against us?
Yeah, he
does every at bat.
He just no.
The Reds ought to trade for him. He probably hit like $180 for us.
Yeah, come here and fall apart. All right, moving on. And ironically, Reds Week in Review.
Oh my goodness, they won 2 games, they lost 4.
And that was your Reds Week in Review. Moving on.
Well, let me take a look here. Let me go. Just
if you have a losing record, we don't need to dive anymore.
We're gonna take a very small dive. The week,
it's a snorkel. It's not a dive.
It's a snorkel. Well, the week since the week is a Wednesday, is how we begin our weeks. It started off in the best way with a rain out against the mighty Guardians.
You can't lose a rain out.
Nope. Then we made up the rain out though on the 19th, and the Reds were victorious.
All right.
It's a wonderful thing.
The Guardians.
Then they went up across the border to Joey Votto Town and lost 2 very tight games, 2-1 and 3-1. And then hometown hero Joey Votto banged one off the foul pole in the 8th inning on Sunday.
And what do we say when Votto hits a home run? Let's see how good you are at Twitter.
Come
on now.
Votto bangs.
Votto still bangs.
Votto's still bad. Well, I will say
VSB.
he finally hit one. That's his first one of the year.
Hey, but it's at the age of like 73. Votto still bangs.
Still bangs. So they did win that game. That made them 2-2 on the week. Then yesterday the Cubs rolled into town and they whipped us 7-4. That made us 2-3 on the week. I'm already announcing or pronouncing this one dead today. They are down 5-2. I think that's enough of a lead for the Reds not to be able to pull up their bootstraps and come back and win.
Yeah,
so I think they're going to be 2-4 this week.
It takes them like 4 games to score 4 runs sometimes. So you might be right there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's transition. And this is something that you had come up with. So kudos to you.
Well, every once in a while, blind squirrel.
So every year there are those who contend, those who contend and pretend, right? And then there are those who are Cinderellas and those who tank. Who is your tank team this year? Who's going to be the team that says, you know what? Not happening. We're going to lose them all. I've got mine. I need yours.
Give me a moment here. I'm perusing the long list of NFL franchises across our great nation.
All 32? Something like that?
There's something like 32.
How many basketball teams are there? Let's see how good you are.
I have
never talk about that.
No idea.
Haas is in the house.
Haas, I'll be with you in a minute. I'm looking at a bunch of names of teams.
He's soaking his hot dog for you.
There we go. I'm going to go with the New York Football Giants.
You think they're done with Danny?
I think they're done with everything.
Danny. That's a good start.
I'm going with the Giants. That's my tank team.
I was going to say the Lions. I have a hard time believing that Dan Campbell would lead a team to tank because he's one of those gravel belly spitfire bite a kneecap off coaches, I don't think he ever wants to even think about trying to lose a game, but they've got a decent line. They could probably get a good back in the next year or two. It's not hard to find good receivers in the league anymore. They're a quarterback away and they got Jared freaking Goff making all kinds of money. And he's got an out at the end of this year for his contract. If they lose enough games, I don't know what the quarterback class looks like this year. I haven't looked yet. It's got to be better than this past season. But I think the Lions have a chance to get their guy if their guy is available, per se. And I could see them saying, you know what, Dan, we're not going to fire you after this year. Do what you can to secure a top 2 pick. And we've got the offensive line. We got good pass rushers. The secondary needs a little help. But I could see it being the Lions.
All right. So who do you have for your team that was a under 500 team last year that makes the playoffs?
Now I want to preface this with when we say under 500, teams like Baltimore who are 8-9.
Yeah, that
doesn't count.
No, that's not a coming out of nowhere team.
No, we're talking like so. People like to think, oh my God, the Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins had a winning record last year. They were 9-8.
Can I type anything to Haas? Am I able to type?
I think you could type a comment in there.
No, I can't.
No, what do you want to say? I'll type it.
I was just. Hold on.
Do you have the
chat
ability?
with everyone in the studio? That's private.
Well, that's me. What do you want Haas to know? Just tell me.
I don't know. I was just going to hoot him back. Is all I was going to do.
Well, just say hooday, Haas. I'm sure he'll.
I was going to type it though, just so he had something he could screenshot and then hang up on his wall.
I think I don't know how to do this. We're not smart people.
No, we're not.
So initially, I was thinking Broncos because they landed Russ, but that wouldn't be a Cinderella team, right? No. The only team in the AFC that really qualifies. So there's 3 teams that qualify. Because let me read the records here. Bills won 11, Patriots won 10, Dolphins won 9, Jets won 4. So the Jets have to be in consideration. The Chiefs won 12, the Raiders won 10, the Chargers won 9, the Broncos won 7. So the West is out. The only team, no one in the AFC North counts. So the West and North are out. We have the Jets and then the Texans and Jags in the AFC. Ooh, maybe the Jets. I know Zach Wilson's not good. I hesitate to call him a bust just yet, but he's not good. But I do like what they did with drafting these tight ends. I think that's going to help Zach Wilson out. I do like what they did with the run game. I think their offensive line's a little bit better, and you never know what you can get out of defense. Sometimes the defense comes out of nowhere. So I think the Jets could be one. The Texans, I don't see Davis Mills doing anything. And the Jags are just an internal reboot. So I can't see them doing a damn thing. So in the AFC, I might go Jets. And that's a stretch. There's just not a whole lot of picks for a Cinderella out of the AFC. In the East, the Giants are your tank team. I don't think they're a Cinderella candidate. The West doesn't have any candidates. The North has 2 candidates, which are the Bears and Lions, and I picked the Lions for my tank team. So now you're looking at the Bears. Maybe I don't know what they got going on right now. I don't really trust Justin Fields. And then you've got the Falcons and the Panthers. For the love of Cincinnati, and I have given this guy enough criticism over the last 2 years, but my God, would it be fun to watch the Falcons take off with Desmond Ridder. That would give me something else to watch. That would be fun. So, I'll stake my claim. I'm going to pray and hope. And let's see if the Falcons can have a little Cinderella run here. They got Pitts. They landed Tate and Drake London, and some of their receivers aren't banned for the year. They might have a little something to work with. They might catch some people off guard.
All right. I'm a man of few words. I don't see one.
There's really not. It's a hard list to do.
There's not going to be one.
I'm grasping at straws trying to find one.
There's not going to be a team that does what the Bengals did and come out of nowhere and make the playoffs. Not in 2022. I don't see it.
I'm going to hope it's Atlanta, but I'm with you. I don't think there is one. I'm really kind of – I don't like what I'm looking at. Nobody really made the improvement. At least with the Bengals, you knew Burrow was coming back and they had Jamar Chase, which is kind of like, well, if that clicks, it might be enough. Nobody has that scenario this year. All right.
We're down to our last subject.
Last subject, and this is one I want to hear your opinion on, tough guy.
This is all you.
So earlier this week, and I wanted to do this, what was it? Today's Tuesday. We wanted to do this Friday night, but I got a little sick Friday night. So even after I put the blurb that we were going to go live, it didn't happen. Sorry.
You want me to bring the studio audience in for this one since it's not sports related?
Yeah, they might be able to participate. I can bring my studio audience in. She's kind of asleep. Ashley, I need your opinion. Well, I need you got to stand here. You got to be on camera. You got to be on the show.
We need a studio.
It's about animals. You do like animals. Which one could you beat up? You got to come here for this show.
What animal would I beat up?
Well, there's an option of 4. I need your here. You can jump on in a minute if you want.
We got to go a little more wide view here. We got studio audience coming in.
Wow.
Everybody move over.
We have couch buyers here too.
All right. So
what's the question?
Earlier this week on social media, there was a question that kind of went, we'll call it mini viral. I don't know how viral it went, but it was enough to get on my feed, and my feed's all sports. So if it reaches me, I'll take it. If you had 20 minutes with one of the 4 following animals, which one could you survive with in their own environment? And it was like a tiger, a hippo, a bear, and there was another one that was like absolutely vicious. I can't remember. I feel awful. But just go with those 3.
An alligator?
Yeah.
Alligator.
Yeah, okay, so he may have saw it. Alligator, which one? What's your best bet?
Kim says a bear.
A bear?
I'd go alligator. I'm hearing alligator. I'm hearing tiger. I'm hearing almost all of them. I know what the one was. You said a rhinoceros.
It was a hippo.
A hippo.
No, hippos kill more people than
That's what I said.
I was thinking hippo, like I could outrun it, and he says it runs like 5,000 miles an hour.
Those things can move. They're freaking fast.
So is there a right answer?
There's no right answer. It's just want to see how audacious some of these people are. Like, I can go 20 minutes with a tiger in the jungle.
You keep running from an alligator. That's why I say an alligator.
Oh,
I guess because they kind of have that like little. But
make a baby.
when we say in the environment, am I
But-
just like
but if
on the
you're in the
banks,
environment, you're gonna be
or am I in the water with an alligator?
They're water inland. So what's their environment?
Can you climb a tree? Alligators can't climb trees, right?
No, tigers can. Hippos very much can't climb
Hippo would
trees.
break a tree, right?
Yeah, trust me, they would break a tree.
Knock you down.
Tigers can climb a tree. Alligators can't. Bears can. Bears can climb trees.
Yeah.
Alligator.
Alligator.
And if you need,
But here's the deal. We're assuming
there's
that-
no, they can't.
we're assuming in this situation that I can climb a tree to escape a bear, which I cannot. I would be screwed. There's if I had to guess which one, I wouldn't go 20 minutes with any of them.
You know what you would look like climbing a tree?
A bear climbing a
You
tree,
would look like Pac-Man scoring a touchdown, jumping up on the
sliding
goal.
down the goalpost.
Yeah, you wouldn't make your way up.
No, I would go maybe an alligator because I feel like if I sat on it, I could at least roll around for a couple of minutes and hurt it. But a bear, I would do the play dead thing and see if it works. Tiger, I would just nope, I'd be done.
Okay, I think we covered that one.
Okay,
All right.
well that was my curveball.
Are we done?
That was the last topic.
It's 30 minutes. We're right on it.
Bye.
All right, we're signing off.
Well, you got to give me a hooday.
Give you a what?
It's a hooday.
You gotta get. Okay, everybody's got to yell "Hooday" on 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Hooday!
All right, now serenade us, Dad.
Shook like the stadium.
Now serenade us.
No, I'm not serenading.
You do it every single show.
No, I'm not singing.
Yeah, you won't sing in front
Fly
of these.
me to the moon. Let me take your breath away. There. that's it.
Those are not the lyrics at
Huh?
all. Those are not the
No?
lyrics.
Oh,
No.
Too much pressure.
Oh my God.
Make it
Goodbye.
night.